everybody. How you doing? It's nice to have you here in our isolation style life. Good grief. Anyway, what have you been up to? Well, I'm starting a new project, so I'm going to be experimenting on joining montages together so I can show you me doing the whole thing in pieces joined together. So, okay. Now, it all started with a garage sale. So anyway, we were at this garage sale and I got 3 things. They were $5 for 3 things. The other 2 things are in the house. I'll show you another day. But I spent $5 and I kind of like this. It's copper. It's hammered copper and then grapevines. And there's wires, so I won't be getting it wet, but I am going to do something with an orchid. So I didn't have a stand. It just came like this. So I just put it by Jack and he has it made. So he made this. And this is everything old laying around. This was some old pipes, a couple old circle things. This was the bottom of a rusted out garbage can. So anyway, he put them all together and this fits in there quite nicely. Well, maybe it's okay. And so what I want to show you before I do it is I have my trim clad. This is gloss black trim clad. And I'm going to paint the whole, not this part, that's for sure. So I'll take that out. Maggie, stay here. Come see Mom. Come here. Come back up here. There, if I put her here, she'll behave herself. So anyway, this part is the part I'm going to paint everything the black. And once I get it black, then I'll come back and show you the next step because I have some copper paint. And if you look at this up close, you'll see it's copper, but they put black, kind of like the old tinfoil, the old copper pictures in elementary school or something. I think we got them, and you hammered pictures into them, and then you put this black stuff on, and it only went in some holes. So I'm putting the black first, and then I'm going to put bubbles of copper. I'm not sure if I'll sponge it on, but we'll find out when we start. So first I want everything black because once you get this on, it's so well protected against water and everything. So first, so the next time you see this, it'll be all black. So I wanted to share that with you. And I should tell you what happened. I went over, I was sprinkling because like it's been over 100 here every day. And this morning started out cooler, but it's now 100 outside. It's probably 88 in here because if we got the shade cloth, maybe it's 98. So it's hot. So I was moving the sprinklers because Tuesday and Friday is our sprinkler day, and I went out to move the sprinkler in my sandals, and we got clover growing over there. And for those who don't know, I'm allergic to wasps badly. Like if I get bit in my finger, I swell up to my shoulder, and it's you know, not a good thing. So anyway, I'm walking over there in my sandals, and I got bit twice on my arch. Yes, I said arch, A-R-C-H, in the arch of my foot. Okay, for those that might have misunderstood that word. 2 bites, but it was a bumblebee, and I couldn't remember being bit by a bumblebee. So the first thing I did was I grabbed a little onion from the garden, nice and fresh, and I took a hammer and I hammered it till it was all mushy. Put that on it, and then I ran in and took a Benadryl because then you have an idea. You know, if it had been a head bite, that would have been, I'd probably end up going down for some, I got a needle that you can shoot yourself, so. So anyway, I didn't have to do that. Hey, the next day, it got a little bit red around the thing. I kept putting a mushed up onion on it. And today it's all better, and it's just itchy. So I was lucky about that. And so that was just a quick visit, because I'm going to join these all together, and we hopefully see how this all turns out in the end. And I hope you're having a great day, and just share your love any way you can. You know, even if it's this way. Anyway, send a little video. Send a little video to a friend that's locked in. Okay, see you next one. Hi everyone, come on in. So yesterday, nothing like getting right to it. Okay, yesterday I painted this all black. I did the bottom, and it's pretty dry. Now sometimes when I'm doing this paint, Jack took it downstairs, but it was Rust-Oleum or Tremclad. Anyway, I showed it to you a few minutes ago now, not yesterday. So I don't want it too dry, because this is actually an oil base, and I'm going to be using my water-based paint. So I don't mind a little reaction, because I'm trying to get this old copper look. So I have some copper colored paint. This is just a cheap one from Walmart, and then we have iridescent copper, and this is golden, and it's the paint I use most often for when I'm doing pictures and stuff. But it is good, the paints I like. I'm not the greatest painter, but I do like those paints, so I might use a little bit of that too. So I've got some water here, because it's acrylic and water base, and for some reason I gotta put glue on that. So, oh crumb, you know what? Of course it's Saturday today, and we went garage sailing, and I got an orchid pot. Now you have to wait 1 second, because if I was thinking, I would have brought it, but just run in the kitchen. I was gonna say, oh, the price is still on it, so you can see what I paid for it. Actually, this pot has never been used. The little made in China stamp is still on it, and there was a $1 price tag on it. Yes, $1. I'm not lying. We had to put our masks on to go in, because they're getting fussier now. All the grocery stores are switching to masks, and everybody has to put a mask on. So it was worth it for the dollar pot, though. It's a beauty. It's nice and big. Holy, does this mean a new orchid? You know what I really want? And if anybody out there knows that if you live in Canada where you can get one, let me know. I want, where's the little kid? I want for Christmas, I want a really big Phalaenopsis, like the biggest flower I could get. And even a big lip that's really big. Some that's really hardy, but I've been going through all the online places, and I don't necessarily need a species. I'll go for a species, but Anyway, I'm watching the grocery stores like crazy, and I was very tempted because the top of the hill, we have some stores here called Askews, and we have 2 in town. I think there's one in Armstrong and one in Sycamore. I think there's only 4. It's a local run grocery store, and they always have local produce and local everything, and besides the regular stuff, so they're pretty good. And what was I going to say about them? Oh, crumb. Anyway, good question. So, you know, oh, so I'm watching, oh yeah, top of the hill. I'm watching all these orchids at the top of the hill. So there's only 2 stores, top of the hill and Save-On here. And top of the hill got a bunch of orchids in, and they had so many really healthy looking aerial roots all around the top, and I was very tempted. And the only reason I didn't, because there was nothing unusual color-wise. So I thought, well, you know, I really want something different. So I didn't. I wanted to, but there must have been a half a dozen there that had beautiful aerial roots. So anyway, so I'm very proud of this. I love the color. So yeah, you know, garage selling can be fun. It can be. So I'll just put that up there for now. Okay, and then we can get started. So I'm sort of doing this in a montage because I'm just learning. YouTube used, let me get my visor. Yes, I can't, the sun's in my eyes all of a sudden. Okay, here we go. There. And then the sun will go. It's still over 100. We've had no rain here. Oh, that's better. We've had no rain here, and it's about 90 in here right now because it's a little overcast clouds, a little bit of a wind, and but just no rain for forever, it seems. So anyway, here we are. We're going to do this. And I'm going to I'm not sure how I'm going to put it on, but I have this really yucky thing that I never clean perfectly. And by the way, I was going to wash the floors. I vacuumed today, even though nobody's coming. And so I vacuumed, and I thought, oh, I should wash the floors too, right? You'd be surprised how much dog hair we get. But anyway, that's her only fault, So I thought, I'll wash the floors. And then I thought, you know, I don't want to wash the floors. I want to paint and visit with you guys. So, boy, it doesn't want to come out of there very good. Maggie, don't you go out there and bark either, or you'll be in big trouble. She probably will. Don't blame me. She doesn't have her collar on. I didn't put it on today. I'm going to pour this on. It didn't want to come through the little hole. We're going to use we'll use a little bit of the cheap stuff and a little bit of the other stuff, and we'll see what's best. I usually put gloves on when I'm doing oil because I have these gloves, but I don't really need it because it washes off this stuff. So it's fun to play, and I'm not even sure what I'm doing, but I think when I get it all painted, it's going to require a paint can. I'm going to put it so that I don't put this in the shower and soak it, but I can take the paint can with a big orchid in it. That's the big orchid I want. In a paint can, and I may even leave the handle and I could just pull it out and put it back in and then soak it that way, but just put it in this so it's decorative. So so I got that ready to go. You know what, maybe I will put one on. I know I'm a little bit funny. I can remember I had this teacher, English teacher in high school, and I didn't like him. But anyway, he made eyes at all the girls, and I wasn't worth anybody making eyes at, I'll tell you. And he used to call you names, and And then some of the girls would meet him at the bus stop and take a ride home, right? And I never would, so he'd always trying to put me in detention. And I was a good kid. I didn't deserve to go into detention, but gee, I didn't like him. And you know, there was some really good teachers I had, but I sure didn't like him. He was really weird. He was teaching Julius Caesar to us at the time. So I have a little sponge. I don't know why I'm talking about that. I have a little sponge, and I'm going to try different methods. And I just got them on. I'm just going to plop it on, because what will happen is once I get this on, then I will let it dry, and they'll come back with a little bit of black, just you know, to make it look more like that one, just to, some of the copper is looking more. So this is really almost the color. This one here, and I'll have a peek at the other one too. So I'm probably, you know, going to finish this while you're not visiting with me. You'll see what I'm like. Somebody noticed something on the last, on Maggie's video, and I thought, oh dear. You know, I knew it was there, and I haven't learned how to clip things out yet. I'm barely learning how to join them together. So I would have clipped it out, but not everybody noticed, because only one person had the nerve to tell me. But that's okay. I had a good laugh, because there's only one word that I use. I'm not a person that swears, right? And there's only one word that I can use sometimes. And I had the camera in my hand, and all of a sudden I hit the wrong button and the video went off, and oh no. But I didn't say, oh no. I'm not telling you what I said, but I'm not a swear. I grew up in a family that, even though my dad was, he worked in a mill, and he was a manager of a plywood plant. And some of the people I knew from school worked with him on weekends. And I know he swore, but he never swore around us. And my mom never swore. She still did. And really, so I didn't grow up with it. And I'm not a person that swears a lot. But somehow when Rosemary was little, during that stage, learning to be trained, I learned one word. So anyway, it may have popped out, and I'm sorry for those that may have been offended, but it was very quiet, so I was hoping most of you wouldn't notice. So, oh dear, I better. So anyway, can you see how, I'm going to just show you, but before I go and finish this without you, I'm going to try the other color and see what it's like. I'm going to go all the way around with this on the bottom, and then I have to go up too. Yeah. You know what's fun doing? You should find something just and paint, and just, it's kind of fun. It takes your mind off things. I don't know when things are going to get back to normal. I can't say I'm not a person that it bothers me. I think it would bother me a lot more if I was a teenager. Or, you know, because when you're a teenager, you want to be a teenager and do what teenagers do. And it's very hard, I think, on the kids. More so than anybody. And when you're working, that's also hard if you're working, because you have to wear a mask. We had to wear a mask into that garage sale, and you can hardly breathe with these things. And we only had to put it on while we were in there, because the sign said you couldn't come without one. But the lady, Jack didn't have one. He had a hanky thing. But she says, I'll go get you one. And she even was giving out masks. They were nice ones too. And I thought, well, that was really nice. That was really nice. She didn't complain that he really didn't want to wear one. She never complained, but it feels awful. So I feel sorry for the people that have to work and wear one and normally don't have to. And you know, there's so much to pray for these days because I'm glad that we're retired. And we just go out for groceries and walk around the block with Maggie. And our daughter comes over on Sundays and sometimes, most of the time. And we talk to neighbors from social distancing. And it's not that there's a lot of people with it here. It's just, and it seems to be getting worse. It's like, are we going to have to be? You know, I don't know. There's so many different people looking at it differently, like all over the world too. Anyway, enough of that. Okay, I just put a little bit of that other color on. I'll put in a few spots. And this is the Walmart metallic paint. It's copper colored. They just put a little dot on the top, but it has a little bit of a different color. So I don't think I'll use it everywhere, but I'll put it in a couple places just because I can. It's gonna look maybe like glass. So anyway, so I got the pot at the garage sale today, and then I have these blue and white Chinese dishes with a kind of rice pattern, and I actually was missing some, so I found some of them, and I got four big bowls and I think 6 little bowls and some spoons for $5. So I thought that was good because it did match my set. So that I like to use sometimes because we love shrimp, we love seafood. Because I used to run water taxi on the West Coast when Rosemary was 5, and now she's like going to be 52. So that was a long time ago, but I learned to just love seafood. So then I can make kind of like Asian food with seafood and use my meat dishes and have fun. Yeah, have some fun. You have to have it when you can. But I don't know. Okay, so this is what I'll be doing. I'll do the whole thing, and I'll just drive you guys crazy if I continue like this. So that's what I'll be doing. And when it's all done and I'm ready to put the Vera thing, I'll probably put a little bit more black over this. I'll come back for that, and then I'll come back for the Vera thing. And, oh yeah, what else did we get at the garage sale? We were bad today. A lady had this Dr. Ho neck, back, and even the seat vibrator, everything. It rolls and it pounds and it heats up and has radiant heat anyway. And also the foot one that went with it, but the foot one was Homedics, but it was all new and like brand new. I don't know if they didn't use it or what. So we got a really good deal on it. So I had $20 and Jack had $20, and they wanted, I think, 50 or something. But it was still a deal because the foot massager sells for $67 here, and the other thing at least a couple hundred. So we hooked it up in the chair in the kitchen where we had a cheaper model, and then when I'm out digging potatoes and I come in, I can get my massage. So thanks for joining me, and I'm glad Maggie stayed quiet. I guess she heard me. And so I'm going to turn you off, and I'll see you when I come back and see how it looks again. Hi there, here we are. I'm going to be quick today because these get joined together. It'll be way too long, won't it, Maggie? So, what I want to do, I just finished canning 6 quarts of tomatoes, so they're done. I make tomato juice. So what I do is I pick up about what I think is 6 or 7 quarts. And then I wash them all off. And then I core them, take anything off that doesn't look good. Throw them in my Blendtec on, make juice. and it destroys the skin, the seeds, everything. So you get full nutrition out of it. And you don't know there's skin in it because it's just juice. I'll show you one. Oh, they're still hot. They're still hot. Let me get a mitt. Yeah. There we go. There's one. They're still hot. Woo! Okay, so there's nothing left. It's great. So you get the nutrition from anything close to the skin, and you get skin and everything. And then when I make spaghetti sauce or soup or just tomato juice, it's all ready to go. I can cook it more if I want it thicker, and we go through quite a bit. We love spaghetti sauce, so, and lots of other things. So anyway, here we are. I decided to get this the right consistency because this is, I think, a little darker than this is looking. Yeah, it seems a little darker. So what I'm going to do is, I've just got a rag that it's one I keep. It's got all kinds of paint from all kinds of things. So I'm just going to kind of rub it. I don't want too much. And then I can sort of, so that's what I figured I'd do so that it's not quite so glaring. Yeah, and just kind of dab it, and it kind of, I mean, if your husband isn't making you one of these, or something that you need done that needs to look like hammered copper, you can buy something old at a garage sale. I've done it many times, and you can just paint it to go with whatever you want it to go with. So, and you just play with it. I mean, if I worried what it was going to look like, I probably would never do anything. So you just do it. And here, I just want to darken it a bit because I don't want it to just be too in your face. Yeah. So that's what we're up to today. And once this is dry, then I'm going to varathane it, find an orchid for it. Well, that's going to be difficult. Yeah. The reason I'm wiping it on, I was going to use a soft brush. And then I thought, no, this one looks more like if you look up close, it looks more like it's been white. I could be. Anyway, it'll be close enough. And I put a saucer in the bottom so when the pot goes in, so Jack cut me some holes in another latex paint can, took the handle off, and my orchids have done good in these, so it will fit in here like this. And so the orchid will still get air because there's going to be lots of air around. And because I don't want to be getting this wet all the time, I can just pick it out, give it a soak in the sink, and put it back. And I did stick a little saucer in the bottom to catch any drips that might happen. So that's the idea. One thing about these stands is I can take them and move them to any window I want. Now, I like to group mine all together because if you start spreading your orchids all through your house, they don't get the humidity they do when they're all together. Excuse me, but if I take one and I put it somewhere else, I make sure there's humidity right there for it. Either by misting once a day the outside, or just lightly the air, or setting something near it, whether it's a pot of water with a little mister in or something. something you can make to suit the decorative environment. So today we still had no rain. Rain is not in sight for the end of the month. It's not good because we have forest fires, and so we have overcast from smoke today. It's probably why I'm coughing, but I do want to do a video real soon on making sure you get your cool down for your orchids so that we get lots of flowers happening. They like that 10 to 15 degrees coolness, so I'll be going more into that because I know here we're dropping to we were in the low 60s last night, and we've been even 56 or so. I don't like to go too much lower than that because when I put them out here, it went right down to the bottom of 50, and a couple of leaves they will just turn to mush like that. So I am going to be watching. I want to go online, I think, get one of those thermometers that keep track of your top thermometer reading and your bottom one. So then I look at it and okay, it dropped to that last night because I can't really go by the outside because we're about 8 degrees warmer than outside. I mean cooler, yeah, warmer than outside here. All right, Cal. You know what? That's it. I'm going to finish this, make it look nice, and join it to the other one, and we'll see you soon. Oh boy. Good morning, everybody. I'm here, and I'm going to just show you that I'm going to finish off this project that has just been done out of stuff people would throw away for a garage sale thing. So we'll take out the cone. This was my garage sale find. Under $5 at a garage sale because I got 2 things with it. $5, so. Oh, crash. I had a saucer in there, I forgot about it. So, okay, so that's what happens when something exciting happens. If you're not awake, you will be now. So, here we are. The bottom was, as you know, it was the bottom of a very old garbage can we had. And sitting in the garage for a long time, the bottom wore off, so Jack made use of all the metal that comes from things. We use so much stuff. So he also made use of some old pipes and things he found to make the stand because the cone shape did not come with a stand, and I wasn't sure how I was going to do that. And whenever I find those stands, I always keep them for my traffic cones. So he made this one, and now, as you know, I've been doing a paint job on it, and today is the final thing, and I'll show you what I use. For outdoor, indoor use, there's not much left because every time I do a project for the orchids, if I'm painting a traffic cone or whatever I'm doing where water is going to touch it, I usually, especially outside things, put a little bit of this on. It's really good. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I have a nice soft brush, and because the good thing about this is it's also water-based, so non-yellowing, UV weatherproof. It's very good stuff. I've used it for years. So I have a nice soft I pick these up at garage sales too whenever I see them, and it just washes out and you can use it again. So it's really good for putting Varathane on something that's bumpy and has lots of corners and cracks and stuff. So here we are. We're going to show you getting into this, and I guess the next time you'll see it, it might have something in it. We'll see. Hi, honey. I told him he could come and visit if he wanted, but he just peeked. Okay, the orchids are happy because we actually got a shower this morning. It looks a little dark. It's, I don't know, it's around 9 o'clock in the morning sometime. So we're a little bit overcast and a nice shower, which we badly needed for forest fires in the area. So I was going to work outside, but I'm not today. I'm doing this. It's going to be finished off. So let's do it. And glad you're joining me. I always try to encourage you to do a project. You know, you can pick up, say you go to a thrift store or a garage sale, and you find something that you like, but it may not have a good paint job. And you think you might like to try something. Well, at Walmart you can pick up so many bottles of paint so cheap, and they're water-based. And hey, if it doesn't turn out, you can paint right over it. That's the great thing about acrylics. You keep going till you're happy with what you ended up with. And it's good. It's good for you. This, when you put it on, it looks kind of milky, and it looks like you're going to have, it's not going to dry properly, but it does. It dries clear. And if you put too many coats, you could run into a problem. I never usually put more than 2, max 3 coats. And you see little bubbles, and then as you're working on it, I always just kind of go over it and make sure everything's covered. Now, that should be good. You know, I was just thinking I painted the bottom of this, so I should actually, I didn't copper the bottom, but I did put Rust-Oleum down there. So I think I'll put a little bit of Varathane under here too, because I may use it outside once in a while. I stuck my biggest dendrobium in it because it's in a paint can. A paint can fits wonderful. So I stuck it. It looked really nice. So when maybe, because I'm hoping both dendrobiums I've had from babies, I'm hoping they both flower this year, and then I can put it in a special place. I can take an orchid out of this, put something in, because I have my paint cans, and I like them. I like the porcelain pots that I pick up for like $1 or so at a garage sale. So what are you doing today? I guess it can be many different times of the day depending on where you are. Many people having different storms and strange weathers, and I try to keep up with things. Mostly, you know, it's nice to have hobbies. I'm telling you, this is the time to have hobbies. My brother, he's a year older than me, and he lives on the coast. That's where I grew up. And he ended up in the emergency ward, and I was really worried, and so was Mom, so was Jack. We were all worried about him because we didn't know how it was going. And he's been an asthmatic all his life, but he's always ran miles and miles, went in marathons, and he goes to these spinning bike classes, and he's 73, but he still likes to keep fit. And he's had a bit of trouble with his heart, but anyway, I guess he went to a spinning class, and he got home, and his heart wouldn't go back to normal. So he had to go to the emergency ward, and they had to fibrilize or do that big shock thing 3 times or something on him. And anyway, his heart went back to normal, so he's back home. But we were so worried because we love him so much, and we were so worried. So it's kind of nice he's home and waiting for more results about, you know, what you do. So he's taking it very good. He's, you know, but I think he said he was going to spinning class this morning, you know. I hope he's okay. He does it all the time, but sometimes that's what happens. We all have our trials and tribulations. Don't think anybody gets away smoothly in this life, because sometimes on the surface it might seem like they're so lucky, never had troubles, you know. But you know, you can learn a lot from people that have had a lot of troubles, because they're usually the people with the biggest smiles on their face when they overcome these things that they, you know, endured for their lifetime. So, you know, handicapped children, they're so happy and always joyful. So they've learned. The really important thing is not what you look like or how much stuff you have or nothing. It's what's in your heart. And the more you can share that, that's the answer. My little thing for today. Now let's see, I got all this. I'm going to quit talking because I got to join all these videos together, hopefully. And we'll have it all in one. And that'll help me maybe if I've learned how to do this for future orchid videos. So I'm going to just say goodbye, and I'll be joining it, putting it on. Bye.